That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
8:09 in the AM 560 Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
The snow is coming down harder across much of the Chicago area. We are seeing heavier delays and more incidents, despite this being a holiday for many. Inbound Eisenhower, traffic is packed solid. York to before St. Charles with a collision involving a dump truck. Your travel time from 390 to downtown is 50 minutes. Outbound, it's 47, with delays from the Tri-State to past North Avenue. On the inbound Kennedy, you're looking at 27 minutes, so O'Hare to downtown. Outbound, 26. Northbound I-55 is heavy right now, approaching 355 after a collision. Southbound, we see delays Veterans Parkway to Weber with a stalled semi on the exit ramp. Inbound Ryan, traffic is stop and go 76 to 71st. There's an outbound crash. That's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. In our AM 560 Weather Center, snow beginning today, 2 to 4 inches. By the afternoon drive, roads snowpacked and slippery and a high of 12. Anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of more snow will fall overnight and a low of 8. 1 above right now at O'Hare. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
From the Matrix Home Solutions Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560, The Answer, online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, on TuneIn, iHeart, and radio.com. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning on this frigid, cold, sub-zero, 18 below wind chill.
Oh, that's cold.
Yeah, it's cold, especially when you don't have heat in your car.
Polar vortex.
Yes. John Anthony here today in for Dan Proft. A perfect day because we are having one of your favorite people in the world on as a guest, and that is Congressman Burgess Owens. You know who he is, former NFL star, standout. And I have to tell you, I was in St. George, Utah for most of my, because, when we couldn't we had to work from home, I decided to socially distance myself outside of the state. And the guy he was running against had campaign ads on every other commercial was a campaign ad. So it was a fierce fight. And actually, his opponent declared victory. Yeah. And then they counted all the votes. And that is why we are pleased to, again, have Burgess Owens, Congressman, join us on our Turnkey.pro answer line. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. And look forward to chatting with you guys, for sure.
Good morning.
So, John Anthony, here's a story, because I want you to tell your story
about
and get your reaction.
The
about
censorship?
Yes, censorship.
Yeah. How you doing, Congressman? I'm a long-term fan. I love all your books. I've read all your books, both of the books, especially the liberalism. I love that book. Okay. Great book. But,
Thank you, John.
This past week, I created 2 Facebook pages just to see how the censorship was, if it was real. I created one that said, Confessions of a Frustrated Democrat. And the handle I put, Frustrated Democrat. Nothing. Went through with ease. So then I created one that said, The Confessions of a Frustrated Republican, and tried to put the handle, Frustrated Republican. Guess what it told me? This page could not have a username. I mean, is that censorship, or is that just, maybe that was a flaw in the system or something? I don't know.
No. It's this is what's happening, and I there's an upside. Believe it or not, I mean, as frustrated as we are, as much as we see now being turned around, and there's a few things that the Biden has done that has actually turned things upside down while people can focus on this impeachment thing. But I think the most important thing that will come out of this, guys, is that America will see contrast, and every now and then we need to do that. We're a country of optimism. We look forward to our dreams. We take for granted the freedoms we have every single day. Like you just did. 3 or 4 years ago, you would not have thought any different about what you just did. Matter of fact, you wouldn't even have done it. But the fact is, we're now in a point where we can begin to see, going from the feeling of freedom, to where we now know that anything we can do can be stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have the freedom to begin to start a business, to go to church, to have our kids in school, to even have the freedom of speech that we took for granted. So this is what America needs at this point. And as we see it more and more across the board, Democrats, Independents, and Republicans, all of our country, will see that the hard left is our true enemy. Not each other, but the hard, radical, Marxist left that's been at us for a long, long time. We just didn't know it. And they've been hiding behind, by the way, they've been hiding around our liberal friends for a long time.
Yeah.
They give our liberal friends a bad name, and we need to make sure that we point them out, not the good folks who might think of it a little different way, but still love our nation.
I mean, Congressman, you live in a different world than we do. Here, I can't go to church. My kids haven't been to school in 330, what is it now? Wow. 336 days. It was supposed to be 14 days. Yeah. But I could go to a strip club, and I could go to a casino.
Yeah.
Well, and buy weed. Yes, thank you.
Think about this. What is good? I mean, it's hard to believe we're here, but here's the upside. We're now talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, across the board, Americans are talking about it. And this is the thing that I would say. We are a country of empathy. That's why we've done so well in terms of reaching out, not only here, but around the world, trying to serve and help people. What I've been concerned about the last few years is how the black community has been turned upside down. Not being able to go to school, not having good education. You have 75% of the black boys in the state of California not being able to pass standard reading and writing tests in 2017. We can say it, but nobody gets it. Yeah. It's because people are sympathetic, but until we feel it, we're not empathetic. What's happening right now, Americans across the country, no matter how wealthy they are, what zip code they live in, are saying, I don't like the fact they have no choice. Yeah. That teachers can put their selves above ourselves. So it's a chance again for us to see across the board that all of us need to have these choices, and we need to talk about make sure our least can have the greatest opportunity to break out those cycles of poverty.
Yeah, and Congressman Owens, I actually met you when I was a black Republican state rep from Illinois. I believe I don't recall if it was an educational class meeting, but you and I, that's what we discussed about education and just how it's the great equalizer. And I really don't think Black America has awakened to. I think they're awakening, but I really want them to understand just how important school choice is. And I know you're a huge proponent of school choice as part of one of your legs that you really ran on.
Yes, absolutely. And it started off, our founders said it from the very beginning, ignorant free can never be. And that was Thomas Jefferson. Yeah. And so what has happened is the left understands if we are not educated, we can't think critically, we're very apt to be controlled by emotions. And that's what they've done to the black community. And John, I'm not surprised that's where we met, because that's been my passion, education. And we're going to make sure that the good thing is this, because of the last 4 years, the Black American, the Hispanics, Asians, across the board, gay, across the board, people are waking up to the policies of giving them freedom. And so I'm more hopeful now, because we had 18% of black men this last election voted for Republican, Democrat, for President Trump. Yeah. So we're waking up, and the good thing about this process of awakening, they can never ever do what they've done in the past. Progressively get us to where we've bought into what they're doing. We're leaving the plantation. Americans, black, white, and across the board are seeing now the evil impact of an ideology that's anti-God, anti-family, and anti-capitalism. And that's the Marxist way. So we're waking up to it. Just hang in there. They're going to go so far to the left that in 2022 it's going to be a landslide in terms of what we're going to do in the House and Senate. And that's what we need to do to stop this process they're moving on right now.
Congressman Owens, I'm sure you watched Donald Trump's back-to-back impeachment trial championships. Never done before in American history. It shouldn't have been brought, especially, not the first time, but the second time, because he's a private citizen, and you can't impeach a private citizen. What did you take away from that exercise? Well, I don't even know what you really want to call that.
Yeah. Well, it's this is what I see it in my background. I'm so proud of my heritage, and whether it be my great grandfather Silas Burgess, who came here on a slave ship, very successful entrepreneur at the end. My grandfather, my dad until 39 years old, until I was 13, did not have something that we just saw that was lacking. It's called due process. In this country, we never go mob mentality. That's the Democratic way. That's the Democratic Party that had the KKK, the Antifa, the BLM. They believe in emotions. They believe in bullyism. They love to hide themselves and destroy things. That's not due process. America does not like it. And all we have to do is put ourselves in that position. How would we like it if somebody would make charges and we have no way to defend ourselves, but our lives can be destroyed? I don't care. We give our most horrendous examples of human beings in this country due process because we believe in that in our country. It gives us faith in our democracy and our rule of law. We cannot allow the Democratic Party to change now what we think is the most fundamental thing in our country. So what we saw as an example, and I hope my liberal friends understand, what we saw was a travesty. We can change the evidence, we can tell lies, and there's no consequences. You can say anything you want to. We cannot have our country drifting that way because at some point, any of us can be caught up in it, and we find ourselves in a position that we know is totally unfair. So there was no due process, and the Democratic Party will suffer from it. Yeah. And those Republicans who decided they wanted to put aside that great basic right, they will pay a price in 2022.
Yeah. Congressman, 3 quick things. First, you got to come on my show, Black and Right.
Black and Right.
I've been trying to reach out to you to get you on there, so we'll got to make sure you get on that.
Okay.
Your very first Judiciary Committee, that speech needs to be played throughout Black America because it was something that was moving and inspirational. So that speech has to get out, and hopefully, I can one day call you Senator Owens.
No,
let's not go there, buddy. But here's the thing, and I'll just say this. America, thank you for putting together a freshman class that is truly a game stopper. It's a game stopper. These folks across the board are doing they believe in our country, and they will be there to hold that line for the next 2 years. So we pulled off a miracle. 15 flip seats. We didn't lose any of the other seats, and so we have a margin now that says that those moderates, if there are still any in the Democratic Party, if they want to be around in 2 years, they need to come to the middle and begin to work with us to make sure the American people are going back to work, getting their kids back in school, and those who want the vaccine need to get the vaccine. Those are things that they need to work with us on and stop wasting our time and money on all this anger and fisticuffs. These guys are. It's hard to believe they've actually won. It's hard to believe. They're so angry about this. We cannot allow it to continue to happen. And John, let's make sure, John, let's catch up and make sure we do the black and white, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Black is Right is a show. It's on this station too. And thank you so much for joining us, Congressman. We really appreciate it. How are you enjoying Washington, D.C.?
It's a great time to be there. And I'll say this, I remember sitting in the locker room back years ago, Super Bowl, thinking, I cannot believe I'm sitting here. I feel the same way about this time. I can't believe I'm sitting here that the district allowed me to present them during this time, and we can be the voice. All of us can be the voice that America needs to hear right now as we work together. You, us, everybody's speaking up right now. This is our moment to bring our country back, and I just thank you guys for being part of it.
Don't you love him?
I know, you're the best, and I'm going to get your book. Congressman Burgess Owens, Utah's 4th Congressional District, former NFL player, and I forgot to mention Super Bowl champion, and author of Why I Stand, From Freedom to the Killing Fields of Socialism. Thank you so much, Mr. Owens, for joining us.
Most importantly, a proud American. Thank you, guys.
Amen.
We'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Take control of your documents and data with Content Services and Document Imaging Solutions from IDT and Highland On Base. Those documents are doing your employees no good while they're continuing to work from home. Let IDT show you how to onboard your documents anywhere, anytime, safely and securely into the cloud using IoT Smart Connected Scanning Solutions from IDT and Content Service Solutions from Highland Software, the makers of OnBase. IDT helps Chicagoland businesses eliminate paper at its source, automate manual business processes, and develop comprehensive, affordable content services and document management practices. In today's world, electronic content management, accounts payable automation, streamlined business processes throughout your organization are no longer a luxury, but a necessity.
Set up a consultation today. Visit ready4idt.com. That's ready, the number 4, IDT.com. Or call 877-SCAN-IDT. IDT, putting paper in its place. Chemical disposal is not an easy thing. That's why you need to connect with a company that has been doing it for over 30 years with no violations. Wilpen Environmental Services. They offer the best, most cost-effective, and safe way to dispose of your chemicals. It's about safety, too. It needs to be done right. WillPen does it right. Fully insured, fully licensed, and they know the EPA laws and regulations to help you out. If you do chemical disposal with WillPen Environmental Services, you sleep well at night knowing it's handled. Businesses, labs, hospitals, schools, colleges, they all use WillPen. Anybody that needs chemical disposal, call 773-213-4144. Talk to them about your chemical recycling and disposal. WillPen Environmental Services. Do business with a company that shares your values. Call now, 773-213-4144. WillPen Environmental Services, 773-213-4144.
All right. How are you feeling? Doctors say, even Dr. Bartlett, who we just had on the show, it's important to have a strong, healthy immune system right now. Get enough sleep, exercise, and eat a well-balanced diet, but raise your hand if you're doing that. I'm not, and that's why I started taking Balance of Nature, 6 capsules a day. You're getting 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies. It's in there. Vitamin B, vitamin D, vitamin C, potassium, calcium. It's all there. So make a commitment to yourself for better health. We can't control a lot of things right now, but you can control what goes in